Hello, you guys. Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so make sure you guys please just like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those fantastic things. Okay. You guys, I want to talk about I was looking at a interview, just a snippet of an interview that Hernandez Govan did with Ratchet TV. Now, um there have been speculations about what happened to Big Juke, okay? I believe that people said that they came, there were people calling in and giving tips and saying that allegedly the unalivers came in from out of um, Texas, and um, there were rumors that um, there were two white SUVs that once they hit Winchester, they went separate ways. Okay, they both split out separate ways, and I don't know if that was to throw off the police. I found it weird, as big as Winchester is, that the car, they lost the scent as it relates to the vehicle. I'm pretty sure that the vehicle has been burned up at this point, but I don't know how. I mean, with there being cameras all up and down Winchester, and not unless they ventured out. It's a lot of neighborhoods around that area, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The car ventured off in some neighborhoods, okay, um, and that might be how they lost track of it, and then as someone said, I heard someone say, I don't think it's far fetched. Once it got into a neighborhood, because Govan did say in one of those interviews that he was, when Big Juke was had lost his life when he was killed. He said he was on the next street over when he got the call. So, um, I don't know. There are a lot of, like I said, neighborhoods around that area. I guess, hey, it was a lot of people in that area that day. There was um, a funeral, and Eric Bovan knew a lot of people in the city. I'm pretty sure Govan knew him. Probably had been at the funeral. Okay, um, because he knew him. Who knows? Um, but I get to thinking about that when people say, "Well, why? What happened?" I'm sure they went off into a neighborhood and they lost the scent. And it could be because of what people, the rumor is that they drove the truck up into a um one of those big trucks. Okay. Can one of those big trucks carry a SUV? Y'all, I'm not a man. Y'all help me out. I don't know. Can they actually drive a truck like that up into one of those big trucks and take it off and burn it up? I don't know. That was a rumor, okay, as it relates to that. So I don't know, but I do know that Winchester has a lot of all of the lights on Winchester work. And I know that for a fact because we have to request them quite a bit for cases. So they definitely work. And it's a lot of them because Winchester is very big, okay? Um So, he was on Ratchet TV, okay, and shout out to Ratchet TV. I think I just from the snippet that I saw, I think that Ratchet did a good job. He definitely got to the nuts and the bolts. It seems. I hope that he, makes the video public. I think he's gonna put out the full thing. So he just got straight to it. And then Ratchet, being true to Ratchet, I looked at his Facebook page, and Ratchet said, let's see. Ratchet said, um,
Well, you just did.
Govan. He said Hernandez Govan admits he took out Big Juke. I hollered. Lord, if I didn't holler, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. Oh my God. So let's look at a little bit of this. I hope you don't mind me looking. Um, but y'all go to
What
Ratchet's
did that
channel too.
have anything to do with Dolph?
Did what?
Juke being killed.
Of course.
And you believe it was the other side that did it, or you know?
I know. I know who killed you. I know the person that pulled the trigger. I know the person that was on the passenger side.
How many people was it?
3.
And them 3 probably couldn't do an interview today.
2 of them couldn't.
Well, remember, they had said that 2 of them are in jail. I remember that. And that's weird because they're saying that either both of them or one of them is doing a life sentence. He's saying that the other one is out just, walking around. I don't know who that is. That's something. That's something because I do know that according to what somebody told me, the police had gotten a lot of tips and it could have been a throw off that people had came in from out of Texas. Okay, out of Houston to be exact. So, um, I don't know. I'm sure Govan is gonna say that he knows about this because it's in the streets of Memphis. Like everybody, according to, he's going to say that he got his ear to the streets and the people in his circle, the people in the streets know exactly what happened to Juke because all of these people kind of intertwined. Now, here's the thing now, they have been popping at Juke, you know, days before or weeks before he was unalived, right? So you hear people say that it was about some money. You hear people say that um, they was still in the business allegedly of robbing dope boys. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. That is what is out there in the streets, and um, listen, hey, so whoever did it, if somebody had a vendetta against him, with him having people popping at him, it would be easy to slide right on in and do what they did to him. And it looks like whoever it was that had issues with him and was trying to take him down before took him down. I don't know. I don't know. Um, people have always tried to say that they feel like Gotti had something to do with it. I got an issue. I'm not saying. I mean, I believe he's cold hearted because anytime he can have that done to Dolph without an issue, just because he's jealous, I don't put anything past him. But I would like to believe that he cares about his mother enough not to have taken any part in what happened to his brother, because his brother was brought into this Dolph situation based on, okay, him, okay, his loyalty to him. So I don't know. I guess I was never sold, and I believe he'll do anything with his rock head. Okay, but I just have not been sold on he did this to his brother. Maybe I'm being naive. I'm not in the street. I know I see a lot of stuff. People do a lot of cold stuff, but I can't wrap my psyche around that one. Um, as it relates to Govan, I know people are saying that Govan did this. He sure know an awful lot. Now you heard Mr. N make insinuations when I've interviewed him, and he says all the time, if Juke was alive, Govan would be in jail. He keeps saying it, okay, and he says it matter of factly. So I mean, you know, hey, you have to you wait it because Mr. N says a lot of stuff without saying it. Okay, so you have to listen to him. And each and every time, I do believe that I've interviewed him, he's put a lot of emphasis on that. If Juke was alive, Govan would be in jail. Now, I listen. I do know that they all be throwing little shots at each other and stuff. So I don't know really 100% what Mr. N meant by that. Okay, I don't. Because he could be meddling with Quet. He could be, or he hey, or he could know something and he just throwing a little bit of something out there at Quet. Um, but if I had to guess, I would think that he knows a lot. He just I don't he just is not gonna get on there and say it. And the truth be told, Lord, child, I just don't. It's some things I just don't want to know. Okay, I want for somebody else to talk about it. Okay, because these folks be getting all child. They be really cutting up when they be thinking I'm trying to find out some child. I don't want to know. Leave me alone. Let the feds do what they do, and after they do it, it come across my desk. Leave me the hell alone. That means when it come in our office, they done for. Okay, they already done for it. So just leave me alone. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But um, let's finish looking at this because let's go back because I mean Ratchet did a really good job. He really did. So I'm pretty sure that the interview was good. Okay, but let's go back
What did that have anything to do with Dolph?
Do what?
Juke being killed.
Of course.
now. He said Juke being killed has something to do with Dolph. Um, I mean, so when he says that, it will lead people to believe that some Dolph people did it. It would lead people to believe that some of Dolph people did it. Now you got stupid Duke and all of them that are in jail. That could lead people to look at that, look at it as if they did it. Okay, in which we all know that that didn't happen. Um, or it could be because hey, he was getting ready to go down. He was going to tell on other people. He was going to make other people look bad because I can't get out of my head the day before Juke was killed. Juke said rather than rather than hate me or rather than snake me, you rather than face me, you rather snake me. Okay. As a matter of fact, I want to read exactly what he said. I can't find my damn phone, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Rather than hate me, you rather snake me. And he says he told and he was talking to somebody. He says, "Watch your back to stay alive." So he was letting whoever it was know, "I'm going to kill you." Okay. Um, he put it out there. Watch your back to stay alive. Okay. So he was letting them know I'm gonna get you. Rather than face me, you'd rather snake me. So it was definitely not paper route because they, I mean, they paper route weren't his friends, so they wouldn't snake him. They slime him, right? Right. Paper route wouldn't snake him. The only people that really can snake you is the people that's right up under you that you consider you're acquainted with that you consider. He said what he said you can't trust nobody, even family. Okay, so you heard people. I mean, I'm not. Govan said that they were like family, but um, I'm not saying that Govan had anything to do with this. Okay, All right, because I know everybody put everything on quit. Lord Jesus. So, and which quit is pretty dangerous. Now let's just get that straight. He is pretty dangerous. Okay. Um, but I don't know if he had anything to do with this with Juke. I don't. I honestly don't know. Okay. Um, and I'm not gonna say I do because I don't know. Um, but Juke, getting back to Juke, he says, "Watch your back to stay alive." He was letting whoever it was know that you rather than face me, you rather snake me. Juke knew he was gonna be indicted. He knew he was gonna be indicted, and he knew that it was coming pretty quick. He was supposed to be indicted the November before he was killed. He was killed in January, and I do believe that his attorney had gotten word that that indictment was going to drop within weeks. Um, he probably had found out some information about what it was that was told on him, and it had him upset. You could tell he was bothered. I don't think he was necessarily bothered about the dudes that was popping at him, okay? Because he didn't post anything about that. He kept going to the crap games. He was still riding around Memphis, so I don't think he was necessarily bothered about that. But you find out that you're gonna be indicted within weeks, and you get some information on some things, and I'm just throwing some stuff in the air, but usually I'm not too far, I'm never far off. Okay? I'm never far off. And you get some information because the attorneys can't get information about why you're going to be indicted and what they have, okay? And they can't just indict him because their minds tell them um they couldn't indict him based on that. It had to be um you know I don't think Cornelius telling on him would have surprised him, but maybe to Cornelius's statements were corroborated. I don't know. Um, by others. Okay. And so I think that's what had Juke bothered when he says when his attorney let him know that he was gonna they was gonna drop that indictment, and what they had on him and who had been speaking on him. And so he wanted for the person to know, rather than face me, you'd rather snake me. Watch your back to stay alive. He let that person know, I'm gonna knock you down. Okay, but he was knocked down the very next day. They didn't give him an opportunity to put no plan together to get them. They killed him the next day after he said, "Watch your back to stay alive." He didn't have the opportunity to plan no hit. Okay. Unfortunately, he lost his life. Okay, so I don't know. I know people saying that Govan had something to do with it. I don't know though. I can't say that, and I don't want to put that on him when I don't know. Okay, but let's keep going.
And you believe it was the other side that did it, or you know?
I know. I know who killed you. I know the person that pulled the trigger.
So when he says that it was the other side that did it, so now what he's doing is he's insinuating that it was Stupid Duke in them. Okay, I'm almost sure that's what he's doing.
I know the person that was on the passenger side.
How he know? How he know who the people sis was that was in the car here, unless he was up in there with them? Okay, that
How
would be
many
the
people
only way
was
to
it?
know.
Three.
And them three probably couldn't do an interview today.
Two of them couldn't.
So who's the third? Where's he at?
The same place where we are, breathing and enjoying air.
Wait a minute. So that's the reason why Ratchet said that Govan admits. And so he admits that he took Juke out. I don't know. He said the same place we are. he, he could go. He could really go a lot of places with that. Okay.
He went ghost.
He doing what he do.
I got you. So if Juke was, if Juke never,
You know I deserve more for what you pay me, don't
well, you giving me, I'm talking about nigga, you giving me that shit. Like,
yeah, okay. Let's get to it.
do you think Juke would have been in jail if he was still alive?
Of course.
Well, of course, they knew he was gonna be indicted and all of that. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. That's my friend Melody and her husband. I had to like that. From out of the Chi Town. I can't wait because I am going to the Chi Town to her birthday celebration. Already got everything in place. I had to sing a song because I got happy that I'm going to the Chi Town. This time I'll get to spend 4 days in Chi Town. But anyways, you guys, um, shout out to Ratchet. That's a good interview. He's gonna drop the whole interview tomorrow. Make sure you guys go to Ratchet's page and look at that. Look at the full interview and support him, okay? Um also you guys, hey, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Of him admitting, that he knows who the people are, but like I said, it seems like to me there's some type of insinuation. I'm sure he's saying that it's Stupid Duke and all of them. If that was Stupid Duke and them that had gone up in that church, everybody in that church would have known that they would have been, they would have been, it would have been out by now. Okay. Um, do they feel like it was Stupid Duke and them that did it? I don't know. Is that the reason why you had DW in Stupid Duke's paperwork? They were on a mission to try to get him. They had no, they knew that they had taken Dolph out, and they couldn't orchestrate another hit, so they thought, that is that the reason that they worked with the police to try to get Stupid Duke and all of them, um, arrested. Okay, because it was DW all through the paperwork. Okay, so, but I don't believe that Stupid Duke and them were the ones that did this. They didn't have any reason to. Okay, um, they wouldn't have put themselves in any type of danger. If maybe if there was opportunity, hey, maybe they would have took it. But to orchestrate a hit while he was at a funeral, when Juke was around the city all the time, nah, they wouldn't have risked it. They wouldn't have taken that type of risk out there with all those people. They wouldn't have done that. So it definitely was not them. Okay, it wasn't. Anyways, you all, that was an interesting interview. Okay. But I want you all to please like, share, and subscribe. I got a feeling that, you know, I remember I asked an officer once, do you think that Duke's murder will be solved? And he said, I don't know about that. I don't really know about that one. Because you can't, it's hard to solve a murder when you can't get people to talk. Well, he may have been wrong on that one. Okay. He may have been wrong on that one. Anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.